You're listening to Brandon Sports Talk, interviewing professional athletes and Paralympians and Olympians. And now for your professional athlete interview and your host, Brandon P.
Welcome back to Braden Sports Talk. In today's episode, I had the privilege of interviewing the Edmonton Elks CFL football player Noah Curtis. How are you doing today?
Doing good. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. Can you talk about how you knew that you wanted to get started in playing in professional football?
Well, it all started back when I was a kid, like when I was 4 years old, watching my older brother play for the first time when he was like six and I was a little kid. And I remember my dad saying I used to be crying on the sidelines, just watching him play, and I couldn't play with my brother. So my parents lied on the application the next year so I can play with my brother. And I was a big kid at the time for my age, so they didn't really mind it. So you could just say I first got a love for the game when I was 4 years old, 5 years old, around that area.
What was that experience like getting to play college football and going to FIU?
Oh man, it was like one of my lifelong dreams because growing up, my dad and mom instilled in me that hey, we don't have enough money for for you to pay for school for academic scholarships. So if you get athletic scholarship, you have everything paid for. So it made me work twice as hard in high school with academics and on the field, and I was forever grateful that FIU gave me a full scholarship.
How was that experience like getting to put on that FIU football jersey and representing them?
It was a huge honor because at the time FIU we only won one, I believe, one bowl game. It was a new program. It was like 15 years old when I first got there, and then we had a new head coach in Butch Davis. He's a legendary NFL coach and former Miami Hurricanes head coach. So we were going through a rebuilding process. So I was part of his first class. And our whole focus was just do your job, do the best you can do, focus on you, let others do their jobs for themselves. So I mean, the first year we went to a bowl game, we lost, but then the next year we won and we had the best record in school history. So just being a part of that, it speaks for itself. I mean, I'm forever grateful to be one of the few thousand people to play Division 1 college football.
How was that experience like for you getting to coach under and getting to be coached under Butch Davis, who was the former UNC Tar Heels coach?
Yeah, that's right. Um, like I said, man, it's a huge honor. I mean, this guy, he's won multiple Super Bowls with the Dallas Cowboys, legendary college head coach. So, his name has value. And wherever he goes, success follows him with him. So he really convinced me on that home visit that, like, this is a place for you to be. Had the opportunity to play as a freshman, and that really sold me. Plus, it was only an hour 30, less than an hour 30 away from home. So it was like a perfect scenario for me, to be honest. I mean, and then the connection he has in the professional world, CFL and NFL, I mean, it's endless. So I'm forever grateful for Coach Davis for giving me the opportunity to play for him.
What were some of your favorite memories and moments playing at FIU?
Um, two stick out. First one would be when we won the bowl game, the Bahamas Bowl, my sophomore year. We beat Toledo. I forget what the score was, but that was the second time in school history we won a bowl game. And we were at the Bahamas, same at the Atlantis resorts, water slides, casinos, stuff like that. But I mean, it was just awesome to make school history with the most wins in school history. Just being a part of history at that school is forever grateful. And then the second moment I would never forget is my junior year when we actually faced the Miami Hurricanes at the old stadium, which is now the Marlins baseball stadium. We played them there. We beat them, and I just remember seeing all those Miami fans walking out of the building mad at us. Me and our teammates, we're celebrating. We're having a good time. Me and my mom, my dad, we're having a good time. When we got back to campus, all the students were surrounding us, and we partied for like a legit 2, 3 days straight from that game. I mean, it's a moment that I will never ever forget. It's probably one of the greatest moments of my life, to be honest.
What was that experience like for you transitioning from playing college football to getting prepared for the CFL Invitational Combine?
Well, I didn't go to the combine, but the transition from college to CFL to me really wasn't a big deal. I mean, football's football. It's just different rules. So the fields are longer, wider, and end zones are bigger. I mean, nothing really made a difference to me. At the end of the day, football's football, and true baller is gonna ball regardless of the conditions. So.
What was that feeling like for you going through the CFL draft and getting that call from Edmonton that you were going to play for them?
Oh man, so I believe it was in March. It was March when I did a tryout. It was just an open tryout for the Elks. So, you only live once. So I just decided to go. My mom was there with me. And then, I guess I impressed, Coach Jones, and G Roy was there also. So they took me out to lunch. And then that's when I found out my mom was a Canadian citizen. And then their eyes just got big. They were like, "Oh, we got to get you your citizenship right now," because I didn't have my Canadian citizenship. I didn't know anything about this until he told me. So for the next month, 2 months, I was just trying to get my citizenship because I wanted a backup plan just in case the NFL didn't work out. And thank God, I did what I did, so got my Canadian citizenship. So draft night happened, and I've been my agent, Hugh. Shout out to Hugh. He was telling me because I got into the draft like a week and a half before, so I was like a late bloomer. So throughout the whole week, I was contacted by I think all the CFL teams. They all contacted me, but Edmonton, they contacted me the most. So when draft night come, I thought I was gonna go like first or second round because that's what my agent told me. But didn't go first, didn't go second. Once the third round came, I was getting a little agitated, if I'm being honest, just because like I know I'm better than these guys, than people in front of me, but it was I came in late, didn't during the draft, so I understand quickly. But once the fourth round came, and then also like with the CFL draft, they only covered the first 2 rounds on TSN. So once that happened, the NBA playoffs came on. So I was like, so I'm not even going to see my name get drafted on TV. But it's all good. So once the fourth round came, the first pick, I think the 28th pick, I think it was. My dad was following the draft on his phone, and he was like, "Noah, you got drafted by the Elks." I said, "Man, get out of here! I didn't see it on TV or nothing like that." He's like, "No, no, you got drafted." So he showed me the phone. It said my name, Noah Curtis, Kaiser University, and then like 2 minutes after that, Coach Jones called my phone, and I was just a mess, bro. Because this is a lifelong dream to get drafted. So Coach Jones was like, "You ready to work, man? We're excited to have you. We expect big things from you." And I was just like, "Yes, sir. I can't wait to work." And that will go down as one of the greatest nights of my life, also.
Coming to Edmonton and coming to the Elks, what was that feeling like the first time you got to come to the facility?
When I first got there, um, first of all, I'd never been to Edmonton or like the west part of Canada before, so it was all new to me. So when I first touched down in Edmonton, I was kind of taking everything in. I'm like, wow, this is gonna be like the city that I'm gonna be playing for. I was very excited. And then it was right when working minicamp was starting, so like my flight was the last one of the last people to get in because I'm from Florida, and that's like I had to do a lot of connecting flights. So it was the middle of training camp, and they were like in a meeting, and I popped up late. So I mean, I was taking everything in. I was just so happy. I just like my mindset was just like I'm gonna have fun playing here, just because like you're playing for a city now. The whole life you've been playing for a school, you've been playing for a little league team. Now you're playing for a whole city, and that means something different because Everton has some of the best fans that I've ever seen in my life.
What was that feeling like the first time you got to put on your first professional football jersey in the CFL for Edmonton Elks?
Yeah, we played the first game, professional game was against Saskatchewan. So I didn't do the preseason because I got hurt. So, I make the team. First game was against Saskatchewan. And then I remember wearing the jumpsuit that we got a brand new jumpsuit. I was so excited, calling my mom, calling my dad, calling all my friends. I was just so excited because, first professional game, you never forget it. I just remember like going in there, I was so happy, but then, you also get some nervous vibes, hands are shaking a little bit. So I went to as soon as I got to the facilities, I saw my jersey in my locker, 92 Curtis, and I almost cried. So I took a picture of it, sent it to my dad and my mom, my grandma, everybody, and they were so happy. I mean, that made me so happy. Then I went to pregame chapel, and then the guys were like, "Yo, this is big. Yo, not a lot of rookies, play in their first game. You have an opportunity to play on defense." Your first game, and I was just like so excited. And I remember the first play I got in, I made the tackle. My first play, I made the tackle. I'm like, okay, all the nerves went out of my system, and I'm like, I can play with these guys, man. After that play, it was a great experience. I'll never forget it.
For you, what was that feeling like seeing your last name, Curtis, on the back of the Edmonton Elks jersey?
Those like lifelong dreams where you dream of being a professional athlete, whether it's NFL, CFL, overseas, it doesn't matter. You're a professional now. So when you see your last name on your jersey for the first time, it's like you accomplished your dream. It's like all that hard work and dedication from the time you first started playing to all the hard workouts and the tough times, the struggles, school, everything. It all just comes out of you. No, I didn't cry, but it was everything was on my mind. Like everything that happened in my life led to this moment. And I'm still thinking it's a dream because, not a lot of people could say they are a professional athlete in certain sports.
In your first game, what was that feeling like getting that first tackle and that first sack?
So when I got the first tackle, all my teammates were like, when we got to the sideline, they were all over me. They were saying, "Good stuff, Noah. Good job, Noah." And I'm like, man, I could play with these guys, man. It's not that different from college. It's just, people are just more experienced and older. I mean, more physical too. I will say that. But football is football, and players are going to play regardless of what happens. So that confidence led over for the whole season, just because my mind, I was like, man, I could play with these guys, man, and I was just having fun. So when I got the first sack against Saskatchewan week 5, it was funny because my agent called me. He was like, "Hey, man, I feel like you're going to get a big sack this game." my dad sent the same text message too. I feel like your first sack is coming this game, and Lord behold, they came, and I was just, and when I got the sack, we're supposed to like it's a thing for Everton. We were supposed to roll, do a little front flip roll, but I didn't do it because I was just so excited. So I got up and I just pointed to the sky and I gave a kiss to the sky, just saying thank you to everybody that helped me get to this place. Thank you to everybody that supported me and been there for me through my hard times, tough times. Like it was just an excited feeling. So now I have the statistic for first professional sack tackle. So now it's official that you're a professional.
What is that feeling like getting to live out your dream of being a professional football player and playing in the CFL?
Oh man, it's amazing. I mean, it's not just the football aspect. You think about now that you're a professional athlete, you got to think about the community side of it and give it back to the people. So when the opportunities are presented in front of me to do community outreach things. Like we went to the fair and we did things for kids and stuff like that. I'm always going to be the first guy to do it because I love giving back to people and I love helping people. So it's more than just football. You got to think about the kids. You got to think about giving back to your community. I want to do more next year. I will say that I want to do more next year for the city of Edmonton.
What are some of the biggest similarities and differences between the NFL, CFL, and XFL?
Well, obviously, the four downs in American ball, three downs in Canada. Feels are longer here, wider here. Well, like I said earlier, bro, football is football. So, real players are gonna play. They're not gonna make excuses for themselves and be like, "Oh, well, I didn't know the rules," stuff like that. Like I said, bro, it's football, man. Like you're gonna have play and have fun. To me, the only difference was just the rules, really. But like I said, football is football.
What does a typical game day look like for you?
It all depends on it all depends on the time of the game. So if we're playing at 7 o'clock, I like to sleep in a bit, sleep into like 9-ish, 10-ish, and then I'll wake up. I don't really eat a heavy breakfast in the morning. So I'll usually do like fruit or like a parfait, something like that. And then I'm just basically I'm in my apartment just relaxing, chilling, having fun with my talking to my fam, stuff like that. And then once like 4 hours before the game, that's when I'm like, okay, time to mentally prepare for the game now. So I'll take my shower, I do my little pregame routine, get a nice outfit on for the game, get there early, get into the hot tub, warm up, roll out, then get ready for game day.
For you on a home game, what does that look like for you?
Oh, you talk about just like pregame wise?
And the atmosphere.
Um, Basically, it's the same thing. I keep the same schedule. I like keeping things to a schedule, like doing things on my time. So when it comes to stuff like that, like I said, I basically do the same thing like I told you earlier. There's nothing really changes to be honest.
What is it like getting to be a defensive lineman in the CFL?
It's amazing actually, because once you're a professional athlete, the thing that I like about it is like you got kids in your city that who look up to you. There's actually been a couple, or not a couple, multiple instances where I'm getting little kids sending me film of themselves and they want me to critique them and give them advice, stuff like that. It's the little things we're having little things for me. It's not always about me on the football side of it. I always like giving back and helping people out. That's my job now as a professional. It's not just football. You gotta help people out, get back to your community. So I really like helping out kids, that, give me their film, they want me to critique them or giving them advice on how to get big or, how to, get in a 3 point stance and how to tackle, how to do certain pass rush moves. Like I said, I'm very blessed to be in this position right now.
What is it like getting to compete against some of those different CFL teams like the Toronto Argonauts, Hamilton Tiger Cats, BC Lions, and Winnipeg
Mhm.
Calgary?
It's an honor. I mean, these are the top athletes in the world. Regardless if they're Canadian or American or global, we're the top athletes in the world. What we do is not easy. It's a very physical game, very demanding on your body. But to be able to compete against other people in my position, it's just an honor, man. Like I'm forever grateful. Like I have no complaints, with the players. Team wise, different teams, different schematics, different, key players, stuff like that. But at the end of the day, it's football, so I can't really say much about that.
What is that atmosphere like when traveling to those teams like Toronto and Winnipeg?
So, me personally, I'm not a type of guy that likes to go out late, go to a club or a bar, stuff like that. I'm fine just being by myself in my room and stuff like that. When we go to the big cities like BC and Toronto, it's just a whole different atmosphere for me. Just I'm not used to being in the big cities like that, like downtown. So it's like a little culture shock for me a little bit, but I can like I know how to enjoy myself when I'm in those cities. So my favorites were definitely BC and Toronto. Those are obviously my top two. I like Calgary too. Calgary was a nice city too, and Ottawa because my mom it's the state capital. My mom always wanted to go there.
What is it like getting to play with some of your teammates in the CFL like Trey Ford, Danny Davis, and even Scott Hunter?
It's funny because when I first got drafted, the first player to contact me was Scott. Scott followed me and he messaged me, "Hey, welcome to the team. We're happy to have you." I was like, "This is gonna be my guy." And he's been on the team for like a couple of years now, so he's like a leader of the team now. Team captain and everything. So I have so much respect for Scott because he helped me out a lot when I first got in there. And Trey is a special player. I mean, he's so agile and shifting in practice. I give him a hard time. I'm just so happy I don't have to tackle him, man, because he's just so hard to tackle. I'm happy I get to just run by him, just like tag him off. Not even tag him off, just run behind him and like going the most of that I'm tackling him. We be going back and forth having fun too. I'm forever grateful for the veterans of the D line, who helped me get accustomed to the game, who gave me advice, who, stood by me when I was down, who helped me, who we all support each other. People like Jake Seresna, Coney Ely, you know, Ross and AC, from Munden and Pelly, I'm forever grateful for those guys because they gave me the confidence that like, yo, you're good. You can do good playing this game. They gave me the confidence in myself and me to believe in myself. So I'm forever grateful for them.
Who are some of the football players in the football community that you look up to, whether it's in the NFL or CFL?
Um, if I'm being honest, I don't really like to look up to certain people. I'm more of a guy that likes to focus on myself and how I can get myself better and not really look at what other people are doing to get themselves better because we're all different people and we all can get better through different things. So I'm focused on myself. And that's the most stress relieving thing you can do. That's what I found out personally.
What is it like getting to meet your fans and having them ask for your autographs and photos with
I mean, I remember when we first won and our first home game when we played Ottawa and just the fans were going crazy, like going crazy. And I had a really good game too. I think I graded out in the 80s or 90s that game. I can't remember off the top of my head. But just like getting stormed on the field, and then usually after the game, they'll have the kids and the families. They'll come down on the field for like autograph sessions and take pictures with us. Soon as I got outside, Noah, can I get this? Noah, can I get that? Noah, can I get your shoes? Can I get your socks? Can I get your headband? Can you sign my shoes? Can you sign my Crocs? Can you sign, my arm? Stuff like that. I'm not accustomed to that, but so it threw me off a little bit, but it was definitely an honor to to do that for the kids and the families, to take pictures, do the autographs and stuff.
As a CFL football player, what is it like getting to see those fans wear your jersey and representing you?
Oh, it's a huge honor. I mean, it's a huge honor to represent your city that you play for and to see people wear your merch and your jerseys and stuff. I mean, I've seen a couple of people wearing my jerseys in the stand. I'm just forever grateful because I'm an inspiration to them, or they're a fan of me, or they're a fan of the team. It doesn't matter, but like I said, I'm forever grateful.
What have been some of your favorite memories and moments as a Ottawa, Edmond Ottawa Erks?
As Edmonton, favorite moments. Definitely when we snapped the home streak. Definitely when we snapped the home streak. That was probably my best moment as a professional at in Edmonton so far. And then I'll also say when we beat Calgary the second time on Dean's field goal, that was a great moment too.
What are some of your future plans with the Edmonton Elks?
I love the city of Edmonton. I love the culture. I love the staff. I want to ride this out to the longest. Like I don't see like if I'm being honest, I don't really see myself being anywhere else but Edmonton. I just love the city, man. I'm not a big city kid guy. I like being in a small town outskirts of Edmonton. Like it's perfect for a guy like me. So if I can, I would like to play out my rest of my career here, whether it's 1 year, 5 years, 10 years, who knows? Like I don't know the future, but I do have bigger plans. After football that I want to get into, giving back to the community, being a public servant like a fireman or a cop or a teacher, coach, something like that. So, because I feel like my purpose is higher than just football. I want to get back to the next generation.
Of course, after your time in the CFL, do you see yourself going to WWE where you tried out for?
It's definitely on my mind. I've been thinking about it a lot. If God has WWE in my future, yeah. If not, I'm not gonna be mad about it. But I could say that I was a part of the WWE for a couple days or a week. Not a lot of people can say that or step in the ring before. So I'm like I said, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, I'm not gonna be mad about it.
What advice would you give those future college football players out there that are looking to play in college football and then go on professionally?
I mean, what I would tell them is, you know, keep working hard, stay focused and dedicated to your studies, your academics. Get that degree first. That's a big thing because that would take you a long way. Like keep working hard. Like listen to your coaches because they will never ever tell you like, well, I never been in that position. But just keep your head down, work hard. Let your actions do most of your talking, and just be that guy that does everything right. Be a technician. Be the first one to win meeting. Sit in front of the classroom, sit in front of the meeting room. Stuff, little things like that. It goes a long way.
What advice would you give those college football players out there that are looking to decide whether to play in the NFL, CFL, or XFL?
If they're unsure about their decisions, go to your family, talk to it with your family, and if you're still unsure about that, put it all in God's hands. That's what I did. You know, After FIU, I wasn't ready yet, so I took another year, went to Kaiser. After the year at Kaiser, I felt like I was ready, and now look at me now. I'm a professional athlete.
What advice would you give those incoming rookies into their first year in the CFL?
Have fun. Not a lot of people, a whole lot of people want to be in your position in rookie minicamp fighting for a roster spot. There's so many. There's not a lot of spots in professional football, coaches included. So take advantage of your opportunity. Study your plays. There's no time to BS when you're a rookie minicamp and training camp. because all eyes are on you. You are on the outside looking in. And you have to compete every single day, every single practice. And when you get to the preseason games, I mean, it's going to be a lot easier to practice. I'll tell you that. It's going to be a lot more funner too. So try to relax, just have fun. That's what worked for me.
That's great advice. Where can my listeners find you at on social media?
So I'm only on Instagram and Twitter. It's Showtime_Noah90 for both. I don't have Snapchat. I'm not really on Facebook. I'm not really a, social media guy, but you can find me on there if you want to get in contact.
Thank you again, Noah Curtis, for your interview and best of luck in your future with the Edmonton Elks in the CFL.
Thank you so much.
You can find Brandon Sports Talk on Instagram at Brandon Sports Talk, Twitter at Talk_Brandon, and you can find me on YouTube at Brandon Sports Talk. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you again, Noah Curtis, for your interview and best of luck in your future with the Edmonton Elks.
Thank you so much.
You've been watching Brandon Sports Talk. Please feel free to like, share, and subscribe to Brandon Sports Talk on social media and on YouTube.